Happy Tuesday, everybody. Today we're going to be doing the Superman and Clark Kent breathing drills. Some people call this spinal wave, some people spinal breathing. I like Superman Clark Kent because it reminds us of what positions we're going to be in. Why do we want to be doing this? Well, it helps with the cerebrospinal fluid pump, basically everything in the cranium down the spinal cord. We make sure we're moving that fluid nicely to and fro to make sure that everything in the central nervous system is being bathed in cerebrospinal fluid. It can also help with a minor adjustments of the cranial bones if they happen to have got slightly out of position. The abdominal breathing that we're going to be doing is going to be a nice visceral massage, but it's also going to help with our circulatory system, particularly the lymphatics as well. So very good and healthy from that perspective. It also, on a segmental level, helps us mobilize the joints in our spine, pelvis, cranium. Another plus point. So I'm going to show you what the breathing drill looks like to begin with, and then we're going to break it down into its individual parts. I'm going to show you side on just because it's a little easier to see. Okay, so normal posture. Okay, so this is how you would stand normally, with the exception that your feet are slightly wider apart, using the tripod of your feet to make sure you're well grounded. We're going to move into the Superman position, or the inhalation position, and the exhalation position. Inhalation, exhalation. So I've exaggerated the noise that we're doing so that you can hear me breathing in, hear me breathing out. When we're doing this for real, you want your breathing actually to be as quiet as possible and try and focus it through the nose. In reality, it doesn't really matter whether you mouth breathe, nose breathe, do a combination of both, but actually breathing through your nose means that your oxygen and carbon dioxide levels are easier to maintain for your body, it's less stressful for the nervous system, and it actually vibrates the vomer bone in your nose, which has a positive effect on your pituitary gland, etc, etc, etc. Lots of positive benefits for that. But, like I say, I don't mind how you breathe, we just want to try and breathe, and we want to try and breathe as quietly as possible. Okay, so let's break down those positions. So we're going to start at the bottom. So feet obviously planted with that tripod that I discussed just now. Knees, nice, soft, athletic type stance. And then we're going to take our pelvis into anterior tilt. So we're going to tip it forwards. Okay, so tip there. If I put my hands on my hips, you can see that anterior tilt. Okay, we're then going to bring this portion here through. So around bra strap level and the position of the xiphoid, so where the two left and right ribs meet at the bottom of the rib cage, we're going to bring that through. We're going to bring the manubrium, so the top portion of your sternum, up towards your chin, but don't bring your chin down towards it. Make the neck nice and long, the back of the head goes up, the chin will naturally come in as long as you don't bring your head forwards. Okay, it's a nice little chin tuck. We're going to take the arms out as if to make the cape to open this up a little more. We then breathe in, so we have a nice soft abdomen, we make a nice Father Christmas belly. So we're in a complete superhero pose like this, and then we have a nice Father Christmas belly. We're filling from the pubic bone up to the top of the abdomen, laterally through the ribs as you bring it up all the way up to here. Okay, so this is your inhalation position. Make sure your shoulders stay stacked over your hips, over your ankles. Nice straight line. We're then going to move into our exhalation position. So for this one, hips go into posterior tilt, as if you're tipping them backwards. So posterior tilt here. Level of the xiphoid, bra strap again, is going to be the point at which we push back. Okay? We're going to bring those arms round as if you sat at the keyboard. Okay? Clark Kent works in an office, so he's going to be slouching, he's going to be at the keyboard, and his head is naturally going to be looking at that computer screen. Now, I don't want you to drag your head forwards, as often we do when we work in an office. Actually, when you do the rest of the spinal mechanics, your head will normally naturally rotate through that level relative to the rest of your spine anyway. So as long as you keep your eyes level with the horizon, you will naturally move from here to here, okay? One point of note when you're doing the breathing, So we're going to go back to Mumbles again. Just going to pop his jaw off. Thankfully it doesn't happen that easily in real life. And just going to bring your attention to these bones here. So we've got green and then these ones here, kind of an orangey peach colour. These are your palatine bones. Now these will shift as you do your inhalation and exhalation. As you breathe in, like so, the palatine bones actually should move up. And I ask you just to pop your tongue at the back of your palate and see if you can notice what's going on with those palatine bones to see if they lift. Do they lift equally on both sides? If they don't, drop me a line, we can discuss that. Okay, so those are the two positions that we go through. Nice and quietly through the nose. You want to do the breathing drills for around 2 minutes at a time. Try and do it once or twice a day. See how that feels. If you have any problems with this, we're going to go through that in tomorrow's video where we break down each segment and how you can perhaps help with any sticking points that you've got going on there. Okay, so a little bit of bonus content I've decided to chuck in at the end of this video. I actually prefer doing my Superman Clark Kent drills in a kneeling position, so I figured I would share that with you as well. We'll probably do a quadruped one as well now I think of it, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, so in this position, exactly the same. We want our tripod of the foot to be engaged as best we can. Make sure that little pinky toe is engaged with the floor as you do this on both sides. So normal posture. We're going to do it without the arms this time. So again, making sure that we're stacked shoulders over hips. And we're going to go into our inhalation position and our exhalation position. Inhalation position, exhalation position. Okay, hopefully you find that useful. Okay, so this is the quadruped position. You want to make sure that your foot tripod is engaged, little toe in contact with the floor. We're going to start with our knees directly underneath our pelvis. Hand tripod engaged at the front. Make sure you've got that little finger engaged with the floor, and we're going to push the ground away so that we get the stability in the shoulder. Okay, exactly the same. We're going to breathe in. Oh, with this one, you want to make sure your eyes are fixed on the floor at that point in front of you for the inhalation and exhalation. So we're going to breathe in and out.